It has finished at the Den. Millwall 0, Watford 0. Oh man, such a frustrating one, such an annoying one. When you've got a game in hand, you just pray that that game in hand will boost you up the table. And it has boosted us. We've gone up to second, but we're going to get pushed back down again. Oh, we just didn't make the most of that. A game in hand, and it was just one of those annoying games. I'm going to get into it now, but oh man, that bicycle kick from Troy. Imagine if that goes in. The scenes. Oh, it's going to be hard to pick a man of the match today, but I'm going to try and do it. So let's start off with that first half. And the first thing to say, there was a great interception from Kiko Femenia. Really, really good. Pressing from the front. He gets a foot in and he gets the ball. And then he whips it, as we know he can do, really, really well into the box. And Troy Deeney coming in. He's not too far away from it to get a head on goal, but just slightly missed him. And then really good running from Andre Gray. Nice little pass through from Sarr, set him away. And, you know, he's really worked hard today, Gray. He had the engine on him and basically got the ball, but then made the wrong decision with it. It's always the build-up with us and not the final product. And basically, on the break, really, really good from us. We're fast, we're pacey, but then the pass is off the accuracy, really. And he tried to pass it to Deeney, but unfortunately, the captain was just in front of it and couldn't find the man. And really, that's a frustrating part of tonight. We just couldn't quite get those key decisions and key moments right in the game. Generally, though, some really nice build-up play. Really nice interplay for Watford. But then Chalobah, in the first half, should pull the trigger. And he instead takes too long to make his decision. And if he rushes the pass, then you think, okay, fair play, he was unsure. But he had time, and he just basically rushed it when he didn't need to. He should have shot from close range, and really needs to be more decisive in games. If he's going to shoot, then shoot. If he's going to pass, then pass to someone in space, rather than forcing a pass that's not in the best position for the other player. And then an effort from Will Hughes, long distance, a bit of a P-roller, but, it was a shot on target to get us started for the night. And then a ball in from Millwall that was quite teasing, to be fair. And Femenia did well to just get a foot on it, get it behind for a corner. And there was also a shot from Wallace, which was actually pretty well hit. Had a little bit of pace on it and a bit of power on it, and it was a shot that deflected off the ground and slightly took a nick off the defender. And luckily, BACHMANN was there to stand strong and was well positioned to get his body behind it. Then a cleverly free kick was whipped in, and basically it came to Troy Deeney, and he kind of tried to pass it through as he was falling down. Then he hit it, and then it came off the defender. Hutchinson was dribbling in for an own goal, and it hits the post. So Millwall gets saved by the post there, and you're thinking, damn, that was very fine margins. And then we get a chance from a resulting set piece. It falls on the turn for Andre Gray and just leans back and really shoots it well over. That was a chance that was difficult, but yeah, he's got to be at least working the goalkeeper, if not getting it on target. But really, really nice play from Sarr. We know that he can play very well in the attacking phase, and the way he just collects the ball sometimes and then invites the other players to run off him and get into the box and whip in some balls, it is pretty nice. But he got the ball with the first touch, really, really nice, brought it down and then put a ball in. But unfortunately, the defender for Millwall, Hutchinson, was sliding in to prevent the cross. Good block from him, to be fair. And of course, from the set piece, we got the ball into the box from a corner. It was bouncing around. Actually, it was a good piece of aerial skill from the defender, Sia Rauter, and Cooper was on the line for Leeds. I'm thinking of Liam Cooper. No, Cooper for Millwall was on the line to clear it away from that set piece and avert the danger for the home side. But then came a great little bit of combo play. Really, really nice. And we're switching it quickly. Sarr, from a very, very nice position, just edges away from the defence. But it's a tight angle, and he goes for the shot. Well saved by the goalkeeper with his legs. And that really was an opportunity, but it was a tough one because, as I said, the angle and the fact that Sarr had to really hit it hard to get it through that pile of legs. But then it started getting really nervy, and out of nowhere, in the first half that Watford were absolutely dominant and really looked comfortable defensively. There was, of course, the fact the final pass was missing, but we looked the much better team. Out of nowhere, Millwall grow into the game at the end of that first half, and a header from Cooper flashed a cross goal, and it was one of those ones. It took ages to drop down and just basically went across the box, and BACHMANN watched it in fear, and there was a attacker that was actually coming in. And how we couldn't quite get there, I don't know, but basically the post was our hero, denying first of all the goal, and second of all getting the attacker to get to the header. So yeah, it was really fortunate from our point of view, but we survived that from that Cooper header, and then we have another Cooper header. We couldn't deal with their big men in the box, basically, and we really don't score enough goals from set pieces, but defending set pieces is where we often have a problem, and he headed it once again, but this time, fortunately, it was offside. A very, very good goal from Millwall. Good ball in, to be fair, and he just really stooped above the other full-backs and centre-backs, and BACHMANN was well beaten, he was stretching for it up high, but it was a very good header. But luckily, we got saved by the linesman, so I think the half-time whistle came just at the right time for the Golden Boys, and, we definitely breathed a sigh of relief, but we should have scored before they started to mount a bit of late pressure. And you go into the second half thinking, come on, we need to open things up, and, we knew that from set pieces they were going to be dangerous, so we had to cut that out. And to some extent, we did do that in the second half, but we just felt that going forward, we didn't really optimise our pace on the break. We didn't give the ball to Sarr enough. And when Zinckernagel came on, he looked all right. He was tidy in his play at times, shifting the ball quite nicely. But then, from a corner, he wouldn't beat the first man, and, he'd try and get a shot away. And he did have a good shot, to be fair, which was very well blocked by a sliding Millwall player. But it was just a second half at the Den that really did frustrate Watford from our point of view. I think it's a better point for Millwall than it is for Watford, because we were knocking on the door at times, but just not really doing enough in the final third to warrant a goal. And there was a lovely bit of play when it came into the box, and Troy kind of knocked it on for his strike partner, Andre Gray, and he just shot wide, and it was a tight angle again, but he would want to get that on target, and at first I thought it was just a shot wide, but apparently took a nick off a defender, went out for a corner, and then a cleverly ball in. And it was a really nice flick from Adam Messina. I originally thought it was Troy Deeney because of how, aerially gifted the header was, but it was actually Messina. Very, very good. And he got it onto Sarr, and basically Sarr was running back, and then they tried to clear it, the Millwall defence, and cleared it against Sarr, so the deflection came off Sarr and straight into the goalie's arms. So that was really annoying. Sarr in the right place at the right time, but unfortunately not ready to take the shot away when it fell to him. And they got that chance away. And then a chance for Millwall with a shot from Malone, but really it was a bit too ambitious from the player, and outside of the left foot, absolutely skewed it well wide. So Millwall didn't really have many chances on goal, apart from obviously the one that was disallowed for BACHMANN to deal with. But when he had, things to do, I suppose BACHMANN did pretty well. And Zinckernagel obviously was a bit iffy in the second half, but I don't know. I just feel with Zinckernagel, he's got something. It's not consistent, and he's, it's a bit rusty, but that's probably fair enough because he's not been given the game time to prove his worth. So yeah, if you're listening, I'm going to tell you now, Xisco Munoz, I want to see him starting against QPR because this guy has talent. That's why we brought him to the club, and if we're just going to bring him on in the last 20 minutes of every game, he's not going to have an impact. So yeah, it was a really annoying game, frustrating and non-eventful. And then eventually we do get a shot on target in that second half. And it was an absolute rocket, wasn't it, from Nathaniel Chalobah. What a hit. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. And it's just, he doesn't score many, Chalobah, but when he does score, they are often spectacular. And it was such a shame to see that not be in the back of the net. But still, a very good save from the goalie. It comes out after the parried save. And Troy Deeney, he's 32, but he still does it. He still goes and tries an overhead kick. I mean, brilliant stuff. But unfortunately, couldn't get the goal. It's a very good effort to even get it on target. And it was going in, just sneaking inside that post. But unfortunately, palmed away by the goalie again. So it was a pretty good double save, to be fair. But it was just the second half where there was a lack of opportunities. The playing surface really didn't help. I mean, it was absolutely beltering it down, absolutely pouring it down in London, South London, before the game. And the pitch wasn't good then, but I'm sure the pitch wasn't good before that. I mean, they just clearly don't have, the right, parts of the maintenance on that pitch because it was dodgy. And right from the start, you could just see the players passing the ball across the pitch, and it was just bobbling and, getting taken up by the mud, and it was a nightmare. It was a really, really unideal situation, and I'm not saying that's the reason we didn't win today. The reason we didn't win today was because, we were frustrated by Millwall. They were clearing it away, getting a lot of silly fouls in their favour, and we picked up 3 bookings, or was it 4 bookings? At least 4, I think, actually. Yeah, I think it was 4, because it was Sierralta, Chalobah, Cleverley, and someone else, I think, if I'm right in thinking. Was it Femenia or Messina? Yeah, Messina, Sierralta, Cleverley, Chalobah. Right, I'm pretty sure that was it. But the point is, too many bookings, and you thought at one point this is going to have a red card in it, because it was a little bit of a tasty one. Both sides getting frustrated by the pattern of the game and not really being able to find a way through. But, I think Chalobah's lucky to not get sent off in that game. There was a challenge where he was on a yellow and he kind of put his foot in and could have easily seen red. And to be fair, the referee was pretty whistle happy with his fouling. He would just give so many, and a lot of them were needless, really. But fortunately, he didn't get his second yellow card out for Chalobah. And yeah, we just lost momentum in the second half. First half, we were all right. Had a few chances, obviously hit the post. But really not really much of a threat to their goal. BACHMANN even less busy for him in the second half. And, maybe we got away with it with that offside goal. But at the end of the day, he didn't have a lot to do. And the defenders pretty much cleared well. It was just when we had the ball, when we were dominant with possession, we couldn't make the most of it. And we just, lost our way a bit in the second half. Really, really frustrating one on a wet Tuesday night. It's just one of those ones, it's kind of passed you by, that game, and you wish you'd made a bit more of it with the chance to get ahead of those promotion rivals with the rearranged match. A little bit of a lack of discipline creeping in towards the end of that second half. I think all the lads were getting annoyed of the way the game was going. And really, there was some dirty play in there, but the point was that we just couldn't quite get shots away that really tested the goalkeeper. And at times it's a frustrating one, because at times our build-up play, when Zinckernagel came on, we had Pedro playing and we had nice quick passing between Pedro, Gray, Deeney, and then we're suddenly cutting through teams. If we do that more often, then we'll actually strike fear into our opponents and create chances. But the thing is, our tempo is just too irregular in a game, so we take a long time to actually get into it, and then the game is already gone. It was a difficult surface to play on, but sometimes some good passing and moving, and of course at the end, a shot from Deeney after that really nice build-up play was blocked from the captain. So in total, in full, it was a disappointing result. Very disappointing. I think it's a point that is really should be 3. Millwall have been a pretty poor season to watch, team to watch this season. So it's a game we should have really won on paper. In the game, tough conditions. You know, we could have gone 1-0 down at half time. I suppose you've got to take that into consideration, but it is still a game you'd want to win, and quite a grotty and frustrating and quite tiring game to watch, to be honest. But it is what it is. We have to go on it and improve. I mean, we've still got good forwards. Like, they're not bad, but just consistency is the key. And, you know, we've brought in a new goalkeeper, Rob Elliott, but I think we need to get more goals again. And I think man of the match, defensively, we looked pretty sound. I'll say BACHMANN. Daniel BACHMANN has pretty much done a great job in goal. I don't think Ben Foster would have done much more in this game than he did today. And Foster coming in will be a big boost for us. But BACHMANN certainly hasn't hidden in the shadows and, you know, really whimpered with this opportunity. He's really taken it by the horns and gone for it, and I think he's done well. So yeah, I'll give man of the match to him today, but it's one of those ones. It was such a frustrating collective squad result today that it was hard to find a real man that got, you know, consistent performance. But Sierralta, I think he got booked, didn't he? So yeah, not the best of games. And Troost-Ekong was decent. A few times he headed away quite well, but ultimately just a disappointing one. So we move on to QPR on Monday. Back at the Vic, we always win there, so come on you Horns. See you later.